How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another season with the Pentagon Challenge here on my YouTube channel on Football Manager 2020. And guys, today is by far the biggest episode and season finale of the lot so far. We do have a live com today. Now, someone has told me how to pronounce the teams. Meizhou, who I've been pronouncing the last 4 weeks, is actually Meizhou. And could someone tell me how to pronounce our new team? Yes, that is correct. We have now moved clubs and we are with Meizhou. I know that is not how you pronounce it, but that's how I'm going to say it. And we're going to be going through it today. Of course, our season, our management so far, we started off with Meizhou. I had 2 games with them in that first season and managed to keep them up. Second season, we finished 3rd and won Manager of the Month once. Third season, we finished in 2nd and obviously got Manager of the Year and obviously got promoted as well. And then in the first season back, we got Champions League, very, very good, and got Manager of the Year. And then in the third season, in the following season rather, we got a 3rd place finish. But now we're with Meizhou, and as you can see, we'll go through it all in a bit more in depth. We finished top of the league, winning Manager of the Month 3 times, winning, those are the awards, the 3 awards, and winning the Chinese FA Super Cup and the Chinese Super League, which we will go through now. But there is more to do today. Now, in the last episode, if you didn't go and check that out, please go and check that out. Of course, I hinted at maybe going for this job. Pretty decent process, to be fair. Obviously, we applied. It took a little while. We then got a message saying the fans were considering my sort of interest in the job. So they weren't laughing me off, but they weren't exactly saying, yeah, we definitely want you. An interview came in and we did the, we sort of warmed to whatever the chairman wanted, really. And then we got the job itself. So at the club, well, let's go through. I'm going to go through the transfers first. Let's start with the transfer history. Players that came in. Mr. Dongda He. We're going to be talking about this guy a lot. Of course, he was one of my first signings at Meizhou, and he did well. We sold him, brought him back, and this season he's been phenomenal. But I will talk about him a little bit more shortly. Next player was Jean Hu Saita. Fantastic player. I thought with Meizhou, because of the foreign players, we're going to have a lot of strength. They had a ridiculous amount of money, which we'll go through as well. So I wanted to get the best Chinese players. He was definitely one of them. We signed him up for £15 million. Had a great average rating of 7.11, 7.05 in the Asian Champions League as well. Really cracking player. Not just in China. I think he would do well anywhere at a decent level as well. So good signing for us and turned out to be a great player. Sunday, again, another player that the fans really didn't want, the board really didn't want, and he's turned into one of our best players of the season. Even a contender for Player of the Year. I don't think he got it, but unbelievable, really. Chinese Super League, 23 games, an average rating of 7.26. Asian Champions League, 7.22. Grabbing goals, grabbing assists. Phenomenal player, and obviously followed me from Meizhou, who really surprisingly had him transfer listed for 150k just to try and flog him off. I don't understand why, because he was phenomenal for me last season as well. Zhu Zhenji came in for 1.1 million. He was a centre-back, played a decent chunk of games. Defence was really a position I wanted to bolster. Now, this was a huge signing. Wu Li was a player that I really, really wanted to bring in. I've been looking at him since the start of the save in China. I thought I'm never going to get him with the finances at Meizhou. And I thought, you know what, let's bring him in. Absolute Chinese legend. I think he is, if not he is the top goal scorer of all time in Chinese Super League. I will look into that actually, but I brought him back in. A lot of money spent. He disappointed me this season, but we will talk about him a little bit more later. Elkerson, now he is a Chinese legend, he's a Meizhou legend as well. We re-signed him as a backup striker for just 450k, and he did the job. And now I think with a couple of goals this season, he has become the club's all-time top goal scorer, which he did on the final game of the season, which is pretty cool. So we'll look at that as well. Zhong Hualong came in from Meizhou. He was a player that I signed from Guangzhou, and we signed him from Meizhou. I'm going to keep saying Meizhou. I'm going to confuse everything here. Dujier came in as well. He ended up being a backup goalkeeper for us this season. And then finally, Pedro Delgado, who's actually, I'd assume Spanish, who's actually Chinese, Portuguese he is. He's actually Chinese. nationality. So he came in and actually performed pretty well for us. Came in from Aston Villa for 8.25. Oh no, 2 million we signed him for in the end. So really happy with that as well. Now players out. The major ones I'll quickly go through. Nemanja Maksimovic. That basically the club had too many foreign players. So Maksimovic left. He went to Chongqing, who are another team in China. The club signed him on a free, and I got 23 million for him. They weren't happy with that, but I thought 23 million profit so quickly. Ding Peng left as well, and the other major one they had was Jason Denayer. Managed to get 31 million for him, which I was really surprised at because he's good, but he's not fantastic. And they signed him for 38 million, so they did make a bit of a loss on him, but I managed to get quite a chunk of money for him in the end. So let's see how we've been getting on, and let's see why we're going to have some matches today. So, as you can see, Chinese Super League was, for me, it was pretty underwhelming. We'll talk about it a bit more in a minute, but we did win the league in the end by 8 points, beating Shandong to the title. Meizhou, my old club there, down in 6th place. Dongdae finishing top goal scorer for us in the league with 15 goals. Champions League, now you can see we are in the final. They're going to be 2 legs, and we're going to be playing those on camera in today's video against Al Jazeera from the United Arab Emirates. Knocked out in the FA Cup, it just doesn't seem to be our competition, does it? We knocked out in the 4th round by Meizhou Hengfeng, and finally, the Super Cup, we ended up winning right at the start of the season, obviously, as well. So, let's look a little bit deeper into the league. So, we ended up winning the title, which is obviously, I think, the minimum, really, we wanted to do. The thing I was disappointed at was I was probably expecting a pretty straightforward, possibly even unbeaten season. We got 4 defeats in the end, all narrow defeats. But as you can see, the last couple of years, I've only lost 1 game all season. And then, and our points total is the lowest it's been for a long time. So that's what disappointed me, really. But we still won it quite comfortably. I think we showed our quality on that front as well. I'm just going to quickly check as well. Have we got records? Is Wu Li still the all-time top goal scorer in the Chinese league? Let's have a quick look. Players. Does it have it? Most goals all time. I'm probably not looking at the right place. No, I don't think I'm looking at the right place unless it's here and I'm just being dim. Yeah, I'm not sure. So, yeah, the Chinese Super League, we've done it. 64 points. I'm happy with that. And obviously, I think Dongdae came second in the end. Dongdae was a player that came in. Obviously, I was expecting him to be back up to probably Elkerson and Wu Li. The fans really didn't like him. I kept having a lot of messages in the press about him being very underwhelming. And then he smashed 4 goals in some games. If we look at his stats, in the league, he got a goal every 104 minutes, which is unbelievable for a striker of that age as well. 23 years of age. Still hasn't even quite broken into the Chinese national team. But I wouldn't be surprised as soon as we leave this club, he will be transfer listed. Because I just don't think he'll perform under anyone else, because his attributes aren't fantastic. Let's be honest. But yeah, he very, very good player. Shots on target, he's got a decent ratio as well, and I think he could score more, and I think he knows he could score more goals. So he's one that we're going to keep our eye on. If we can keep him and maybe bring him to our next club, that'd be cool as well. But yeah, good player, and obviously he did well. So we're going to move on now. I don't really think there's anything else at the moment to go through. We're going to go through the Champions League final. 2 legs. I'm obviously going to clip it up to show you guys the key highlights from the games. But this is huge to get our first ever Champions League trophy in the save. And obviously, we have a fantastic team. We look at us as a manager now. We've got 52% win percentage. We're looking good. Our reputation's gone up slightly as well. We've got our Continental Pro license. So things are looking good. We've got a couple of trophies under our belt now. And this is going to be a huge game. And hopefully I'm going to show you how we play. Predominantly, we've been playing with the 4-2-3-1 again this season. I've obviously not gone through the squad as a whole because I need to introduce you to the majority of this squad. Our foreign players are Giovanni Lo Celso, obviously Abdoulaye Doucouré Talisca, and we do have, where has he gone? Denis Vavro as well. Said he cannot be registered for the next match, but there are no match day rules, so I don't really know how that's going to work. It's a little bit frustrating, but yeah, let's go through the first game in this Champions League. Let's see what team I can pick. As I say, I don't think he's registered Dennis Fabro, so I don't think he's going to play. But we are going to start. Dongda he's got had a late fitness test. I love that midfield too. Unfortunately, Saita is suspended, and one of our better wingers, Kanlong, is injured. So I'm going to bring Elkerson actually onto the bench. Let's bring him onto the bench for this guy, Jiquan. Not 100% happy with the back four and goalkeeper, but the rest of the team is pretty solid. So let's go with that. So teams for this game, obviously we've gone through our team. They've got a couple of players, Murillo, Obiang, probably the most notable. Everyone else I'm not too sure of, so I'm hoping that we can get a win. A chance, well, they've got the ball here at the back. He's played it across his box quite dangerously, and they're knocking it about quite well, Al Jazeera. We will go through, obviously, after this, how is that? Oh, I thought that was Mohamed Salah then. How we got here to this stage, because it was not straightforward by any stretch of the imagination. But let's see how we can get on. Lo Celso playing a much deeper role than he usually is. He's normally playing quite attacking, to be fair, in that hole where Talisca's playing today. Ball out to Wu Li on the left-hand side. Wu Li now bringing it forward. There is Dong De-hee. Oh, and he's hit the bar, and I thought Dong De-hee had scored again. Man, what a season he's having, and that would have been amazing to see him score again. Al Jazeera now coming forward. Dujier just collect it. Now, if he can find a long ball here, we've got options up, but I assume he's playing it short, and he does. So we've got an opportunity to build up from the back here and possibly go and grab the first goal of the game. Lots of room on the right-hand side, which Decore finds. It's Delgado. It's been a great signing since coming in halfway through the season. Wu Li got the overlap of the left-back. Decore will spot it instead. Junyi. Let's see what we can do here on the left-hand side. Great ball. Delgado's there, and Delgado scores. Second goal of the season for Pedro Delgado, and he gives us the lead in the first leg of the Asian Champions League, and already maybe one or two fingers on the trophy. Beautiful goal, really well worked as well. It came from that left-hand side. Junyi took his time to find the cross. No one really putting any pressure on him until late. Delgado with his head across the goalkeeper into the back of the net. Right on half-time, it'd be lovely to grab another goal. Be a little bit of a kick in between the legs if we could concede, but we've got the ball back here. Here's Wu Li, lovely ball to Dong De-hee. Dong De-hee now, what can he do? He's on his own, really tight angle obviously, he's not going to shoot. He loses the ball, and they've hoofed it forward here. Should be pretty basic for our defence to get. But if we can double our lead here, I'm not sure, I'd assume the away goal counts in this first leg. Lo Celso, lovely ball to Junyi. Is he going to lay it back off? No, ball in again to Delgado, who's unfortunate there. So half-time, very, very good so far. Very, very comfortable. And we're going to tell them we're happy with that performance. You can just see by the stats how dominant that we've been in this game. And really, it'd be disappointing at the moment to not win this Champions League. But Al Jazeera are knocking the ball around here. And here's Huang Ulzhou, and it's cleared away. Now Wu Li. Can we start a counter-attack of our own? Dong De-hee's in a bit of space there. Dong De-hee, can he get around his man again? And he's lost out again, Dong De-hee. Needs a little bit more support. Break it forward, but he's won it back here. And back to the left-back, Junyi. Decore into Lo Celso. Lo Celso, lovely ball. A lot of it coming down from this left-hand side. He's laid it off for Wu Li. Back again to the left-back. Talisca was there to Wu Li, and it goes in. He's hit double figures for the season, and we've doubled our lead. And a lovely, lovely goal. Number 10 for Wu Li, and number 2 for us on the night. It was Junyi and Wu Li combining. Now, how did this go in? A lovely little turn. Talisca heads it down, and somehow on the volley, Wu Li gets the height on it to loop over the goalkeeper right after half-time, and we're looking good. A few minutes to go. Elkerson, can he just lay that ball in? He's held on to it. Back to Lo Celso. Into Sunday. He's been great this season for us. Still going and loses out. Wins it back though. Is he going to lay it back off? He finds Yang Liu. Ball in. And that's a poor cross. And now they could clear. But look at this. How many men we've got forward here. Oh, Zhang Kuolong's taken too long there. And Atel's in. And saved. And just about cleared away. He makes up for his error. But my word, we fell asleep there. And can we get another goal? Put this game to bed, and just over the bar again. So there we go. Full time in the first leg, and it's an extremely comfortable victory, especially away from home. And we've got to say we're happy with that. One hand now on the trophy. We play them again in a week's time at home. So is that our home ground? Yeah, it is. So they play obviously each game at the home stadiums. Quickly before we move on to that second game, I'll quickly go through a few of the awards. Dong Dae won most popular local player. He also won the best under 23 player in the Super League. And Elkerson, there we go, with that record top goal scorer. I believe he scored on the final game of the season, actually, to get that award. He did in the 83rd minute, so great for him to get that. In terms of some of our biggest victories, which I didn't go for obviously earlier in the video, 5-0 against Jiangsu, 5-0 against Shanghai as well, where Dong Dae scored 4 goals. Got a 4-1 win against Chongqing, where Dong Dae scored a hat-trick, which you can see was more or less straight after that Shanghai game. So he'd scored, I think he had a run of about 8 goals in 3 games at one point. Dong Dae, he was really, really on fire. If I quickly show you the FA Cup as well, because that didn't quite go to plan. Losing out 1-0 in the first round to Meizhou, who actually won the National First Division. Fair play to them. I didn't realise they'd gone and won that. And then quickly, before we finish off the Champions League, it didn't quite go to plan. In the group stage, we did okay. Got a number of wins against Osaka, Perth Glory, and Ulsan. And then we played Shandong. We were 1-0 down in the first leg. Came back and beat them 3-0 to get through to the next round. We then played Meizhou, where we were 3-1 down. We had to turn it around with a huge 4-0 win in the second leg. And then it was a close game in the semi-final against Beijing, 3-3 away from home. And then we got a 3-2 win at home to get through to the final where we are now. And it looks like this second leg could be pretty straightforward. So let's go and jump into it. So a nice little message on the board. I've not seen this before. They're talking about the future expectations. They're going to talk about after the Champions League final and wish us all the best for the final. So I've not actually seen that before, but that's pretty cool. But yeah, let's move on to it. So then here we are for the second leg. A couple of changes to our team. Quanlong comes back in. Saita comes back in. And Taliska starts up front. Their team, just having a quick look at it again. No one. Rafael Toloi at the back with Murillo now. We've got that 2-0 lead. And really, we played really well. Be nice to get another victory. Just under 10 minutes gone then. Still obviously 2-0 up on aggregate. And hopefully, maybe we could get our first chance of the game. Chenji to Delgado, into Sunday, into Yong. Chenji. Hualong. Good football here from us across the back. Just need to create a move going forward now. Delgado's got the overlap of Sunday, but he'll find Taliska instead. What a knock that was. And Taliska almost beating the goalkeeper at the near post. Lovely pass that was. We have got a chance of a corner now, but the keeper comes and collects it. Oh, what a knock. Great knock. Taliska! And wide again. Big chance. It's an unfamiliar position, to be fair. I've not really played the Brazilian in that striker role this season, but trying it out. Dong Dae's just come back from the flu. Wu Li's injured as well in between those games. Taliska now with the ball in. Shenji was there in the back post. Oh, Quanlong scores, but he's offside. That would have put the tie to bed. Great return for him into the team. Was he offside? Oh, he looks level. He looks level to me, unless, you know, he was leaning forward. But big chance there. It's Ortiz now with a goal kick. Smashes it across the pitch. Delgado could collect it. Sunday into Yong. Decore. Into Quanlong here. And he's tackled, but he's won it back. Great move from the winger. Still going. And tries to curl it in, but Ortiz makes a save. Just before half-time, though, and we're looking good at the moment. Still 0-0, but still obviously 2-0 on aggregate here. And just, I think, one goal will just kill this tie off completely. But if Al Jazeera do get themselves a goal, it might be interesting. But here's Lo Celso on his own. Taliska's not really made the run to support him. He'll find Quanlong instead. And still going and scores his 14th of the season. The left winger has done it again. And it is a beautiful goal. Lo Celso did well there because he didn't really have any options and just held up the ball quite nicely, didn't he? And pings that ball over the top. He still had a bit to do, the winger, but he smashes it across goal and into the back of the net to make it 3-0 on aggregate, 1-0 on the night. And it looks like our first Champions League is coming home. Here's Sunday with a ball in. Chenji, can he hit it back towards the right hand side? No, and hoofed clear. Saita now on the ball. Into Chenji. And all the way back to Dujia. Left hand side is an option, which he ignores. Saita now into Chenji. Good football again, and Dugier will just allow the players to get back into their position and regain our shape. And finds Saito again, who's been pivotal today. Lo Celso finding that pass every time to Quang Long, who's looking dangerous, and he's tackled. He'll keep it in though. And now can they attack? Al Jazeera coming forward. Who to the right, Delgado could bring it down. Here's Delgado for us here, and strikes on. He's beating the goalkeeper, and it's 2-0. Before half time, Delgado's wrapped the game up, and our second goal in 3 minutes, and that's it, isn't it? I think the Champions League is ours. Minus a complete disaster. It looks like it'll be ours, but Delgado there just caught the goalkeeper off guard, and he hits it so powerfully for his second goal in as many games, and maybe even number 3 here. Sunday ball in. Delgado again off the post, and it hasn't gone in. They scramble it away, but what a game. 2-0 up at half-time. Pure domination again, and passionately we're going to tell them we're very, very happy with that. Huge, huge victory this is going to be, because we've looked fantastic the last couple of games, and fully deserved. But could it be free? Ball in by Talisca, and he's gone down. It's a penalty. Now then, who deserves a penalty? Lo Celso's complacent, so I think I might give it to Delgado, who's looking confident at the moment. Yeah, let's give it to Delgado. He's not taken a penalty for us before. He's not the best at them, but the guy is full of confidence at the moment, and he's scoring goals. It's Delgado, and he smashes it home. It's 3-0, and it's 5-0 on aggregate. His second goal of the game, his third goal in now 2 games, and Pedro Delgado is looking the business. Smashes it with his left foot into the left corner to make it 3-0, and he's on a hat-trick now in the final. Ball has been cleared here, and Saito, look at the room there on the right-hand side. Delgado, Sunday, needs to whip it in, and does, and Dong De-hee, what a save by Ortiz to deny Dong De-hee. It would have been lovely for him to go and grab a goal in the final. All of his goals have been pivotal for us, really, in all competitions this season. Obiang hoofs it forward to Hwang Il-jo. Obiang again, and not enough there for Al Jazeera. They've been very, very poor. It's been us all Guangzhou the whole time. Let's have a quick look. Let's bring Yang Liu on, and let's bring on Guaolong for Decore, and there we go. And it looks like that Champions League is ours. It certainly is. We've won it. 3-0 in the second leg, 2-0 in the first leg, and it altogether a 5-0 win in the Asian Champions League. Huge. It's our first Champions League victory. We've got the treble if you include the Super Cup, but I am extremely happy with that. A huge, huge tournament, a Champions League victory. I'm now classed as an outstanding manager, but there we go. The 3rd consecutive Champions League for this club now. They've won it. I mean, they were going to be favourites to win it, but it was huge to go and get this job, to be honest. Dong De-hee ended up top goal scorer. Highest average rating was for Qiaolong as well. But a huge, huge victory for us now. Our reputation has gone up. It was just under 3-star just. It's gone up over that now. It is 3-star, and we've got our first Champions League of the save. Most appearances this season was Abdoulaye Doucouré. He was almost ever present for us. Guao Junyi as well was up there. Saita and Sunday playing a huge majority of games. Dong De-hee got 23 goals in the end. 14 for Qiaolong and Wu Li with just the 10. And 15 assists for Giovanni Lo Celso. Sunday, Qiaolong and Junyi all got 7 each. 6 as well for Talisca. 5 for Doucouré. Fantastic to get that first Champions League trophy. I think with the club, I mean, I didn't even show you their finances, but they are ridiculous. 276 million transfer budget. So if I were to stay, I'd really make this team a force. But clubs, you know, where am I going to go next? Will it be Argentina? Will it be South Africa to win that African Champions League? You know, there's an opportunity maybe for the MLS. You've got Houston and Real Salt Lake in there. LAFC, believe it or not, they've obviously now won the MLS Cup. They were a team, the job was just available. It looks like they've brought somebody in now It was a job that I had applied for to maybe have at the after maybe we obviously won this possible Champions League. But yeah, I'm going to have a look at it. I'm going to leave it now. We'll leave it there. I'm going to see. Obviously, next season, it'll look like we're probably going to be at a new club. But, guys, thanks a lot for the support. Champions League #1 is complete. In China, we did it with Guangzhou. I know that's not how you pronounce it, but I'm sorry. I don't know how to pronounce it. But be sure to hit the like button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, guys. And hopefully, you'll join me next week for another season and seeing where we are in our management career. Until then, I'll see you all very, very soon.